Good morning, everybody. It's Thursday and the sun is shining, the sky is blue. I hope you're having a great day. So this morning we are going to talk about exercising on an empty stomach first thing in the morning. Somebody asked me a question. I've got an itchy knee again. Somebody asked me a question about it a few weeks ago, and I kind of got into one of those conversations about it, explaining it, thinking how can I make this easier, because sometimes it's a little bit difficult when you're trying to explain these bits and pieces. And I'm sure you've all seen it. It's very popular at the moment, it's very trendy online. Probably lots of the social media fitness gurus are talking about it as a way of burning more fat. Now, it was used and has been used and still is used for bodybuilders to lean off a little bit of fat, but you need to understand the basics behind it, because a lot of these fads that go around on social media and that trend these days, fitness is a very trendy thing, it's everywhere, and it's not always made or best for us as busy people in the general population doing what they can to stay fit. Now my other leg's itching, sorry, don't know what's wrong with me. Got fleas. Anyway, so exercising early morning on an empty stomach does and can burn more calories from fat than carbohydrate, and can be an effective way to burn, to boost your fat burning effects. But there's a couple of theories. The first theory is the one about cortisol. Now, you know, cortisol is the hormone that promotes the metabolism of fat for energy, and it is higher in the morning. Your levels of cortisol are higher in the morning. So therefore, if you do exercise on empty, then you will increase the amount of fat burning. And the second theory is that because your body continues metabolizing overnight, albeit at a slower rate, your body has been metabolizing carbohydrate and fat all night, that there is less available carbohydrate first thing in the morning if you haven't had any breakfast yet, and therefore the body is likely to use more of the fat that's stored, because we have quite large generous fat stores in the morning. Now, there is research to promote, or back up I should say, both of those theories. But although there can be some benefits to those things, exercising on an empty stomach, it's not going to be the best thing for you in the long term. And we are all about the long term. Remember that. We are looking to thrive for the rest of our lives, and we want to have energy and vitality. We want to build and maintain muscle tissue, not just to burn fat, not even just to look good, but really for postural purposes, to keep our bones in line, to stay strong and fit and well, and just basically to keep everything functioning properly, so that we're not the old granny who can't look up and reach to the top shelf. Remember that. It's not all about how you're going to look in your bikini this summer. It really is a long-term thing. So there's 3 reasons why potentially it's not a good idea to follow this trend and this fad of exercising on an empty stomach first thing in the morning. So number 1, the first thing to think about is, yes, it does burn fat, but it also does burn protein. If you're exercising on an empty stomach, your body is going to start eating away at the protein that you have too. And if you do that, then there's less protein for your muscles to be able to build and repair and recover after all the wonderful strength workouts you're doing. Because if carbohydrate isn't available in the blood or in the liver or in the muscles to use as energy, your body will convert protein for fuel, and that's the bottom line. You're not going to have as much left to build those muscles, and we need to build those muscles for long-term strength and health. The second thing you need to think about is there is something in our bodies that are called free fatty acid, and the body has lots of those available for you for exercise. And so any free fatty acids that you've got running around your system first thing in the morning that are not converted into fuel for your muscles to use for energy, they go somewhere, they get put somewhere. And where do they get put? They get put in the adipose tissue, which is another name for fat stores, and predominantly they go around your tummy, so you get that belly fat. So when you exercise first thing in the morning, your cortisol levels are high, and therefore you get loads more free fatty acids running around your body and in your blood, and the exercise that you do, if they can't all be used, they're still going to be in your body, they're still going to be in your blood, and therefore what does the body do? It puts it into the fat stores. So there's another theory as to why it's potentially not the best idea to work out in a fasted state, because none of you will want that to happen. And the third thing to think about is that if weight loss or body fat reduction is a goal of yours, or metabolizing as much fat as you possibly can, then we need to think about the energy expenditure, not just in the 30 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 60 minutes you do first thing in the morning in this fasted state, but we need to think about what we're doing for the rest of the day. So we need to think about our energy expenditure over the whole 24 hours of our day, rather than just that one bout of exercise that we do. And I would urge you to think about that anyway, just generally. We need to be active people most of the time. It's not all about just going to the gym or just doing your workout. You need to be active as often as you possibly can. And I would urge you to monitor your own lifestyle. So look at it, check back in every now and then and see how you can reduce any excesses that you're taking in, so any excess consumption you're having. And then, because you'll look at your food diary, and everybody does it, it might be brilliant now, but in 6 weeks time you might have slipped a little bit and you're eating a little bit more again, and the weight loss is slowing down, and etc, etc. So you need to re-engage with yourself, monitor it and see what's happening. And then also look at your activity. How active are you actually? I know we've talked about these activity monitors before, which are a good gauge to see how much exercise you're doing, but also just write it down, see what you're doing. Have you sat down for 8 hours of the day as opposed to standing up for 8 hours of the day? Everybody's lifestyle is different, but that's where I would urge you to move around and do as much as you possibly can, and trying to look at that longer term picture rather than just what you're burning first thing in the morning. Now, you may be the sort of person who has to get up and exercise first thing in the morning because of your lifestyle. You might prefer it, it might be the best time for you with the kids and the family and work and commuting and all of those kinds of things, and that's okay. Don't worry about all the things I've just said to you, but you do need to build it in and work around it and understand it, because what would be better first thing in the morning potentially would be to do a slightly lower intensity workout and do the low intensity steady state stuff rather than a really powerful HIIT workout first thing in the morning. Now, if you do a powerful HIIT workout first thing in the morning, that's okay, but you've got to make sure you refuel properly, okay? So if you know you're not going to get time to refuel within 30 minutes of doing your workout, you take the intensity down a little bit and you do the low intensity steady state stuff first thing in the morning. If you've got time to, if you want to power through and you want to do the HIIT workouts that I know some of you have done this morning, that's excellent, but then you've got to make sure you refuel. It's important that you are fueling your body as much as you are trying to burn and create all this calorie deficit and this muscle building and everything else. The nutrition side of it is so vital that you get right, otherwise all these other things happen with all the free fatty acids running around and all that sort of stuff. So you need to eat within 30 minutes of doing your workout. And what do you need to eat? Well, you need to actually eat the high glycemic stuff, so all the stuff that people tell you normally not to eat, so your white breads, all the fast stuff that's going to give you that sugar back in quickly. One of the best things you can have after an exercise bout of high intensity at any time of the day is a glass of milk. And a glass of milk with a little bit of chocolate in will do you even better, because it's a good combination of carbohydrate, proteins and fat. So not only are you getting all the nutrients in, but you're replenishing the carbohydrates, you're replenishing a little bit of protein. It's just one of the best things you can have. Then what you want to do is plan to eat again another couple of hours down the line, and have something then that's a lower glycemic, so a slow release, but you get that combination again of carbohydrates, proteins and fats. The sort of thing I would have would be some eggs on toast with some salad or vegetables or an omelette or something like that. So I've got my protein, my carbohydrate and a little bit of fats in there. I usually add avocado or a little bit of cheese or something along those lines. You could have porridge even, it doesn't have to be eggs, but you could have porridge with some cinnamon and some nuts and that kind of stuff. So If you eat too soon before you exercise, you just need to remember, we talked about the free fatty acids earlier. If you eat too soon before exercise, and we're talking within half an hour before you start, you will push up your insulin levels in your blood. And of course, if you push up your insulin levels, that is a way that your body will store fat, helps you store fat. So if the insulin level rises before you exercise, there's going to be fewer fatty acids in your system for energy, because the pancreas will have released insulin and taken them all out and stored them away, and so your body's going to not be burning the fat and metabolizing the fat as well as it could have done had you not had something that was boosting those insulin levels so soon. So make sure you have a more of a low glycemic index snack or meal, at least 30 minutes. Give yourself at least 30 minutes then before you exercise, but try and eat much sooner than that. So usually everybody's different, but I would suggest you leave it 1 to 2 hours after you've eaten, before you exercise, because that allows the body to digest that, and then all the systems are working properly. You've got the blood sugar levels at a good level, and your system will work with you and for you to get you to that point of balance and the right energy being used, and then you're not going to have this rush of insulin and all the hormones going all over the place. So I hope that makes sense to you. If that's confused any of you, then do email me, do text me, do send me a message through the app, and I will try and help you. I think the best and underlying message at the bottom of all of this is that you look at the overall picture over a 24-hour period, then over a 7-day period, then over the month, 6 months, 1 year, right the way out to 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, and you get this balance. And the key is that you eat regularly and sensibly, and that you exercise in a balanced way too. We do strength, we do cardio, we do high intensity cardio, we do low intensity cardio, we walk, we run, we cycle, we swim, we balance, we change, we integrate, and we make sure that we are doing a little bit of everything. It's an active lifestyle, it's a healthy lifestyle, it's thriving, it's building muscle to maintain bodily function and strength and stability as much as it is how we look and burning that fat. So make sure you're not doing the absolute opposite and turning your body into a fat storing machine rather than a fat burning machine. All right, I'm here to help. If that has confused you, or you don't quite understand certain elements of that, then please do get in touch. Other than that, have a great day, enjoy your Thursday cardio, and I will see you tomorrow morning for your Friday full body workout. I'm just going to film the follow along version of it. Bye.